Good morning and welcome back. This is World Talks coming to you live from Warsaw. I'm Stanisław Tasiemski. Cardinal Ryś is the new Archbishop of Krakow. The appointment was made by Pope Leo XIV and it's turning heads because Krakow is a big deal in Catholic Church history. It was once led by Karol Wojtyła. Analysts say the move signals steady direction, not a U-turn, lining up with the vision of the late Pope Francis, especially on synodality, which is church language for listen more, talk less, and bring more people into the conversation. To discuss this, I'm joined by Father Stanisław Tasiemski, Vice President, Catholic Information Agency. Good morning and welcome. Delighted to have you with us.
Good morning.
So, was this appointment surprising to you? And what should viewers understand is the real headline here? I mean, the man, the message, or the moment, perhaps. Why is it so important?
Just what you said. Krakow is a very important diocese in Poland. It is one of the centers of the Catholic life. Naturally, for a long time, people were discussing, guessing who may succeed Archbishop Jędraszewski at the See of Krakow. Cardinal Ryś is a Krakow native, was earlier, before becoming Archbishop of Łódź, he was auxiliary bishop. Earlier, he was a rector of the seminary. He is a member of one of the monthly magazines, Znak, also a publisher in Tygodnik Powszechny. So he is one of persons who is very well rooted in Krakow, and he was suggested as auxiliary bishop by Cardinal Ryś, so the former secretary of John Paul II. We may say Krakow is welcoming his man as Archbishop of Krakow. What it means, precisely what you say, he is a man of science, he is a historian, he was a head of Department of History of the Church of Pontifical Theological Academy in Krakow. Actually, it is John Paul II University. He's a man of dialogue with Jews. He's president of the Commission of the Bishops' Conference on the relation with Judaism of the Polish Bishops' Conference. He's also a man of spirituality. He is very close to neo-catechumenical way, was a member of many charismatical, we may say, movements. So he's living the gospel, and during pandemic, he preached a gospel every day. He transmitted his private mass from private chapel, so people were able to follow what he says in the difficult times of COVID. He's also a man of many interests, but also picked up by Pope Francis. Precisely what did you say? He is a member of the dicastery for bishops. It is this dicastery which prepares bishops' nominations for the Pope, discussing of the Bishop of Krakow. He himself excluded from works from the dicastery, but he normally discusses with other bishops every month bishop nominations around the world. It is a very important work. So he's also a member of the dicastery on liturgy, so divine cult on liturgy, we may say, and was a member by Pope Francis, nominee member of Synod of Synodality. So his voice is also very present in the Church. As also a member of dicastery for bishops, he personally knew Pope Leo, and so it is not surprising that the Pope chose him on the See of Krakow.
So certainly a well-rounded man, but does he lean more liberal or conservative?
We may say that he is a man, first of all, of the gospel, and some will accuse him that he is more liberal or more conservative. The gospel is for him a compass. So we may say we have also tradition of very independent Bishop of Krakow. The actual history of Krakow, we may say, of 20th century is illuminated by the personality of Cardinal Prince Adam Sapieha, who was very independent in the first part of the 20th century. He was running against the current, and he was sometimes very disputed by, for instance, Marshal Piłsudski, one of the founder of the independent Poland. He was also in controversy with Pope Pius XI and became a cardinal just after World War II, named by Pius XII. So we may say Krakow has also a history of important pastors who united the whole Poland. Cardinal Sapieha was leading member of clergy during the Nazi occupation, and he was the highest rank archbishop. He was still on the office even during in the night of German occupation. So it is, being a historian, Cardinal Ryś knows this importance of the See of Krakow, and the patron of the archdiocese is Saint Stanisław, a bishop who also had the courage in 11th century to oppose the king. So he will surely lead the diocese according to his own conscience, to what he sees as the needs of the church and, naturally, a common good of the country.
Right, so let's talk about the synodality. In plain terms, because Cardinal Ryś is an ardent supporter, so in plain terms, what does it actually involve?
Surely he loves to speak with people. He's very accessible, and we'll see he will take the office in 1 month, nearly on the 20th of December. So Krakow is still for 3 weeks, we may say, led by Archbishop Jędraszewski. And everything is in front of him. Synodality is a very complex term. You said probably very, very well that it is a way of being a church, listening, talking, taking decisions. But naturally, it is always the bishop who is taking responsibility for decisions. So it means he will involve lay people whom he knows personally. He knows also how to speak with clergy. We have to say that Krakow has over 1,000 priests, and they are incarnated into the archdiocese, and there is 1,000 more religious priests residing on the territory of the Archdiocese of Krakow. So it is an immense church body. It is a church rooted in a history, very, we may say, in many places. It is also very traditional, knows the value of tradition. So historian naturally will appreciate the history, know as a bishop, he knows precisely his responsibility, but also as a pastor, he will always be open to dialogue with people of different opinions. announcing the word of God in times opportune and in difficult times. So it is probably his direction.
So Cardinal Ryś pushed for permanent deacons in the Archdiocese of Łódź prior, right? So this is something routine in the US apparently, but quite unusual in Poland. So what does it tell us about what we could expect from him moving forward, perhaps in Krakow?
So surely the situation in both dioceses is very different. If I said that in Krakow we may have probably 700-800 persons for one priest in the Archdiocese of Łódź, I think it's nearly 2,000 persons for one priest. So in a certain way, surely Bishop of Łódź needs to involve lay people. For every bishop, it is evident that the priests are, first of all, responsible for pastoral work. And he will, on one hand, try to involve all priests or clergy in missionary evangelical work, announcing the gospel in front of secularization, which evidently is present. But on the other hand, he will try to find collaborators. Not only you speak about ordained service in the church, people like deacons, they are present in many dioceses in Poland, especially where they are very useful. We have, also, for instance, here in Warsaw, permanent deacons. The primate of Poland, Archbishop Polak, also announced he's intending to introduce permanent deacons in his archdiocese. It is certain pastoral importance, and also in many dioceses, I think in every diocese, we have permanent, extraordinary ministers of the Eucharist. They are very often lay people who are serving especially the sick, who needs Eucharist for everyday life. Sometimes people, professionals, who are involved in pastoral work in such a way. Every place is different. And if Cardinal Ryś is intending to fight clericalism, it is also very, very, we know Pope Francis very often used this word, and Cardinal Ryś recently stressed how much Pope Francis' pontificate impressed him, how much he is moved by the person of late Pope Francis. So surely it will be one of his programs in Krakow.
Father Stanisław Tasiemski, Catholic Information Agency, thank you so very much for joining us this morning. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too. And thank you for watching World Talks. Please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.